Hello, everyone. So today I'm going to talk about our recent work, which was published last year at CCS. And in that work, we try to measure the privacy leakage from browser extensions. So why is this an important topic to study? We begin with a motivating example, as always. So here we have a screenshot taken directly from the Chrome Web Store. And it's of a popular extension called Web of Trust. And if you look at the figure here, it has more than 11,000 users who rated 4.5 star for the extension, and it has more than 1.1 million total number of users. So the numbers seem to indicate the extension is trustworthy. And if you decide to go ahead to install it, it's going to ask you for access to all the data on the website that you visit. So the natural question to ask here is, what if the extension authors decide to abuse this data they collect from you? And this is exactly what happened. So it was found out that the authors of the Web of Trust extension has been selling to third parties the data that they collect on their users. So if we summarize, the privacy implications of browser extensions come from the fact that, first of all, they can inject arbitrary JavaScript code to be executed in the context of the visited pages. So the injected code can access the DOM of the page, and this allows the extensions to read the user's browsing history, steal their cookies, read their form inputs such as passwords. And on top of this, browser extensions also have access to privileged APIs. So these, again, allow them to read the browsing history of the users, and they also allow them to persist information to storage to be read back later. Last but not least, being essentially a program that runs inside the browser, they have network access, so they can exfiltrate data over the network. Now, given this, our approach to detecting privacy leakage from browser extensions essentially implements dynamic taint tracking for JavaScript. So in such an approach, we taint the data obtained from sensitive sources as tainted, and then we track the usage throughout the execution of the JavaScript code. And then whenever tainted data reach network sinks, we raise an alert. But our requirement here is our taint tracking needs to be generic. So essentially, we need to propagate taint for all available JavaScript data types, so not just for the string type, for example. And we also need to handle control flow dependencies, and we need to also propagate taint across the DOM and extension API, which we mentioned before. So, but the challenges here come from primarily from the complexities of the JavaScript language, the V8 JavaScript engine, and the Chrome browser itself. Now, due to the length of this talk, I will not have time to go into the technical details of our implementation. But suffice it to say that we basically combined dynamic taint tracking with static data flow analysis. And we propagate taint based on that whenever we reach an end of a basic block or whenever we encounter a function called function return. So as for results, we applied our system to analyzing more than 180,000 extensions, which include both Chrome and Opera extensions. And we flagged more than 3,800 of them to be potentially leaking privacy-sensitive data. We also found the top 10 extensions of the flagged extensions have close to 60 million total number of users, so they are all affected. And another thing is that a lot of the top 10 extensions here are security related. So the irony here is users go to install these extensions to improve their online security, but in return they actually get less security because their privacy is being abused. We also found that the Web of Trust extension was using encryption before sending data over the network. So the lesson here is if you are just observing the network traffic without understanding the data flow of the JavaScript code, you will not be able to see the privacy abusing behavior of this extension. Now, I want to also mention we have a public web interface to our system where users can register accounts and then upload extensions to be analyzed and get back the results. And with that, I would like to thank you.